Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
A very good afternoon, Ms. Deepti. I'm fine. Thank you so much.
On behalf of Curious Times, I welcome you to our special event of Children's Day. And our theme for this year's event is Every Child is Special. And we are very happy and delighted to have you come join us in the event and also speak to your school's children as well as our children on our platform. So, very welcome, ma'am. And thank you for taking out your time.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. So, ma'am, like our topic goes, every child is special. The topic actually has, come to our is something that we are observing every day. So, as the years are progressing, so is the pressure and the competition and all of the baggage that has come from the previous generation going on to the next one, right? We are bringing a narrative through this event where we're sort of taking feedback from parents as well as educators and coming up with a conversation where we are saying that yes, every child is special and they have something special and unique to offer to the society and to the nation. And to bring that kind of equity in terms of their choices and what they want to do and what they have to offer. So that's really the conversation. And to that, my point, like we spoke yesterday also, you also truly believe in the value of, learner-centric approaches and how we need to nurture the children the way they are. Just taking up from that conversation, my first sort of question is that in your experience, have you seen come across, and I'm sure you would have, how where we sort of have our own benchmarks on success or on the streams that a child should be picking up or the way they should be moving or their own benchmarks on skills, etc. Some experiences of yours where you found that the uniqueness that the child has to offer had much to do with the success rather than just going by the parameters and the benchmark we as a society have made for children.
Very interesting question, and probably every educator and every parent comes across this challenge. It is not only the educators and all, because what happens is, you said it rightly, Dipti, that it is parents' aspirations, it is organizations' aspirations, the societal pressure, a lot of things are there. Now, I look at it in a very different way. I strongly agree to your statement that every child is unique and every human rather is unique and holds something which needs to be given an opportunity to come out. How that opportunity can be given? Can that be given leaving the child without educating him or her? I think answer is no. Because yes, the child wants to do something at every time. When a child is very small, a baby wants to catch hold of fire. So, I mean, that time, should we leave the child because the child is unique and wants to do something, or how? So, here, by giving this very peculiar example, I want to say that yes, every child is unique, and all of us come across in our own children, in our students in school. How do we handle that? To handle that, we need to give basic requisites in the form of education and value system, which needs to be nurtured up to a particular level where the child's horizon to be widened. No soft corners, no soft play, because what happens is we misunderstand education being child centric means don't say anything to the child, don't force him. I mean, we use the word force rather. Don't direct him. Let it happen in its own way. That is what we say. On the contrary, any curriculum, any syllabus takes its own time and own direction, and then it creates a gap between what we say and what we do. So first thing we need to do as grown-ups for best nurturing of the child is stop speaking something which we don't do and do something what we speak and bridge the gap of these two different thought processes. Second thing which we need to do is that on one side, when there is nurturing required, because widening the horizon of child's mind will help the child do what that uniqueness the child holds to bring it out in society and do wonders. If suppose I have a baby or you have a child and you don't teach the child, you don't nurture, you don't groom, and you say the child is unique, so let the uniqueness come out, what will be the answer after years? So the gap to be bridged between what we say and do. And second thing is, please be accommodative and equally respectful to that child's thoughts as well, with an understanding that if there is a diversion or if somebody goes in a track which is supposed to be which is not supposed to be followed, you are there to direct. But allow the brainstorming to happen, allow the independent thinking to be developed, which does not mean that don't give ingredients. Do give ingredients, do give basic nurturing, but simultaneously allow the brain to be developed. Then the uniqueness in that child will come out in a best possible way. It will be supported and nurtured, and then the child will come out with the identity we look forward for him or her to be in days to come.
Right. And so would you want to share some of the experiences that you've had come across, like how children have taken like very different paths and yet been successful?
Yes, there are many such incidents which happen across us, where sometimes we think of some path for a child, and the path taken by the child is as per different interest levels and all. There are students who studied engineering and became photographers. There are students who studied. One of our school student in Malaysia, she studied engineering, and she's the latest Miss India, who's going for Miss World now. And I was just listening to her testimonial, which she sent to school, where she says that I became an engineer, but I was finding something in me is calling me for something different. So these are the pricking points which prick everybody. Where we find that, okay, this is not my place. But that does not mean whatever he or she has done till now, whether studying medical or engineering or law or anything for that matter, goes in vain. That will help that person to be the best wherever he or she is now, whether becoming a writer or becoming an actor or becoming leading a pageant or anything for that matter. So in nutshell, if I can say that nurturing on one side is important, and giving liberty to fly, spread the wings, and you are ready to take the independent flight of fancy. These two are very important.
Right. And ma'am, in terms of the same narrative that you are sharing, right? We also find like there's a lot of ambition that happens at the parents' end, which also where they are sort of benchmarking success in terms of how, let's say, peers are doing, or how somebody in the past has done, right? What is the kind of role that we need to play, or the parents, what needs to come around from in terms of parents to also nurture the same thought and philosophy like you just mentioned?
Dipti, there is a very fine line between parents giving and nurturing the aspirations in child and forcing the aspirations, their own aspirations in child. And that fine line has to be understood. If I say that the parent should not say anything to child and let the child become anything, probably the child in that age is not competent enough. The brain and the mental faculties are not developed to that level where the child can take independent decision. Right. Every human being wants a comfort zone to be around that person. And children, when they are thinking, at that particular age, roughly around 16, 17, that is a crucial time when children start thinking, and that is the time when parents start giving their aspiration and turning it to inspiration to the child. That time the child thinks where on a great platform which has been provided by the parents. I, as a child, I have best of surroundings. I have best of infrastructure. I'm going to best of schools. I'm getting best of clothes. I'm getting best of the culture, everything. And now I think, hey, I don't want to do a particular thing. For example, suppose a parent is forcing child to be a pilot. Like my husband, he wanted to become a pilot. He cleared half the test. He could not clear rest of the test. So he's in forces and he's an officer now. But that aspiration is in his mind. He wanted elder daughter to become a pilot. She said, no, I'm not interested. She's pursuing law, the integrated course. Younger one is there. Now she says, no, I don't want to become a pilot. I want to join civil services. But that aspiration is okay. He says, okay, you don't want to become pilot in real sense. You have flight of fancy. You take flight to life wherever and you succeed. That is, no, where is he wrong? No. But then is child wrong? No. Then what is wrong? Wrong is that we misinterpret the thing. We think that parents should stop saying that what you want to become or what is good for you. Because parent has seen the journey. Life is not about all goody-goody dreaming. Life is about, everything. I cannot say that, it's number of forums when I speak, there are people who say money doesn't matter. It is spiritualism and everything. Everything comes as a higher order thinking skill when the basic requirements are fulfilled.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm very honest in speaking that everywhere when we give liberty to child to think, we should give clarity to the child that what all you have, you need to earn that also. And over and above, we feel that you can do this, and whichever is the option you like, you choose that. But whatever you choose, whether you want to open a stall outside in a market, it can turn into McDonald's tomorrow. So right. Whatever you do, think that the top is your destination, not that is what the platform you hold and every comfort zone you hold. Despite that, you say, hey, I want to just become a tourist or I want to become a traveler, just like that. The reality has to be brought in and focus. That is what my endeavor to explain this is.
Right. So, ma'am, without taking too much time, it's Children's Day. And here is your, this is your day to give a message to our children, both at your school as well as Curious Times children around the globe. What is your message today for children?
Yes, this is very important. And I divide my message in two subparts. One is dream, and shout out your dreams loud. When you shout out your dreams, that will give you the pricking that you have to achieve these dreams. And second thing is, take the flight of fancy to the highest possible place under the sun. Keep the roots in ground, because that will help you to grow, and that will help your branches to flourish, because we all need some roots to survive, flourish, and make a mark across the society. And then finally come to that level when you stop taking and start giving.
Right.
Reach that level. So I really wish all the children on this forum, whosoever are there and would be watching this, your dreams are the destiny of the world for tomorrow.
Right. Thank you so much. Those were wonderful words, ma'am. I think it's important message. Dreaming is very important, and achieving is which is going to follow. Yes. And thank you for taking out your time. And I know we kept you waiting after school hours in KL. So thank you so much. We wish a very happy Children's Day to all your school, all your students. And we look forward to continue to having you with us, in future as well.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is all mine. Children are the future, and I really feel good that I'm here addressing to them on this Children's Day. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.